You can feel the excitement coursing through your veins as the plane touches down in Tokyo. You can't wait to make your way off the plane, out of the airport, and into the heart of the city. You know that hidden amongst the busy streets and alleyways is a small, secret ramen shop, the exclusive Tokyo Ramen Sushi Shop, as it is known by its patrons. It is said that it is over 600 years old and has always catered to those with the most sophisticated taste in rare and unusual delicacies. You make your way off the plane and out of the airport. As you wander through the city, you can feel the excitement building. You have spent years working your way into the upper echelons of society, and it was not easy, not being born into one of the trusted families. All of the degrading and disgusting things you did are finally paying off, and you are prepared to relish this experience. The shop is hidden away, and only those in the know can find it. You search and find the side street that you were instructed to take, and then you navigate through a maze of alleyways until you come across the small, unassuming door to the shop. You knock. "Pass a word?" You hear from behind the door. "Ramen." You respond nervously. The door opens. "Welcome," says the host as he guides you through the entrance of the small eatery. As you make your way to the bar, you see a group of well-dressed men sitting around a table. They look at you and smile. One man holds up his glass as if to toast you. You smile and nod. You sit at the bar, eagerly awaiting your first bite of the famous ramen. The chef prepares your dish with precision, slicing the men thin and arranging them perfectly on the plate. You can't wait to dig in, and the first bite is everything you hope for. The men are chewy, but not too chewy, and they melt in your mouth. The flavor is amazing, and you can't get enough. You clean your plate and order another. The chef obliges and takes cuts of meat from each of the 3 bound and gagged men lying on the kitchen table. The men's screaming can be heard through their gags, just enough to let you know of their freshness. The chef sets the meat before you and turns back to the men to sprinkle a fine powder on the gushing wounds. The bleeding stops almost immediately, and he returns to preparing your next course. He serves you a plate that looks like a beautiful flower, the thin slices ranging from pale pink on the outer ring to a deep crimson red in the center. It is absolutely delicious, easily the best thing you have ever devoured. Still not completely full, you raise your finger to order once more. In a thick Japanese accent, the chef asks you what you would like this time. Looking at the menu, you hesitate. Then one of the well-dressed men sitting at the table behind you says, "Give him the special." The chef looks you dead in the eyes. You nod eagerly, and the men at the table start to chuckle. The chef smiles mischievously and walks over to a cupboard. He pulls out a tall, wide-mouthed jar, and to your horror and amazement, you see that it contains 5 little men. They are naked and no more than 4 inches tall. The chef places the jar before you, along with a small bowl of sauce and a pair of unusually long chopsticks. With your hands shaking, you pick up the chopsticks and select a target from the jar. As your chopsticks descend, the men run to the other side of the jar. They run from your chopsticks, screaming in high-pitched squeals and squeaks. This goes on for less than a minute before they start to get winded, and one of them collapses into the fetal position. He kicks and swats at the open sticks as you try to pinch him up. The other 4 men are cowering on the opposite side of the jar as you get a hold of your victim. As you begin to lift him out of the jar, one of the 4 cowering men jump up and attempt to pry apart the chopsticks, but you easily shake him off. You extract the little man out from the jar and look closely at him. You are at a loss to how this is even possible. The little man cries and screams in a high-pitched but clearly human voice. You assume he is begging for mercy. You hear jeers and chuckles from the men at the table behind you as they watch in jubilant fascination at your first experience with this delicacy. Then you dunk the tiny man in the sauce head first. You hear high-pitched choking and gagging as you take him into your open mouth. Then, without hesitation, you bite down. You hear and feel his final scream through your jaw. Then you taste the flavor. Indescribable flavor. The well-dressed men cheer and drink a toast to you as you swallow your first man. It is like a pleasure-filled fever dream. You eat one little raw man after another. The feeling of having raw men inside of you is incredible. The men are Japanese and they slide down your throat easily. The taste is out of this world and you can't get enough. It is a mixture of pleasure and guilt, and it is unlike anything you have ever experienced. You feel your climax building, and as you swallow your last man for the day, you climax harder than you have ever before. You collapse and fall from the bar stool moaning. The ramen have taken you to a whole new level of pleasure, and you can't wait to have them again.